people don't realize all they put plants, they want to do a lot of things that I realize a lot of people put old wash machine in the yard, old toilet that accumulate water that they say, no, I go use it when I basically build something. Now the wash machine is good, just for parts I want to use it. And they don't realize that all those type of items there is accumulate rainwater, and that is danger. When they old tires, that is the number one source for breeding mosquito. Now people don't realize that all the trenches that pass by the houses, all the open blocks that people have home. You see, they build things and leave the blocks open. They don't fill it completely. All those things retain water for breeding mosquito. You see, the vases in the cemetery also. That accumulate water. They say put for the vases, put the flowers in a week. Just try to go back, take it back, clean it. If you want, put another flowers again. You see, all those things is it's good that people know that the mosquito don't need big things to lay the eggs. Just a little bit water is enough. The mosquito, just like Maria Henry said, they put 300 eggs. They don't put it in one places. They go fly over 100 meter, put over 50 there, 60 there, 30 there, over there, and they'll expand all the things over there. Mosquito can fly almost 200 meters from when he born and fly over there, put over there, and because he can cover the whole entire neighborhood.
They say you can make your house mosquito-proof in regards to putting screens on your windows and your doors. And what we tend to do, we put screens on the windows and the doors, but we leave the door wide open. So guess what? When you have that, the mosquito still is going to come in, because the mosquitoes want to be indoors. So in regards to using the mosquito destroyer, the flit, the bob, the baygon, and all of those type of methodology, which is temporary. It's a temporary solution. So if you do not eliminate the mosquito breeding sites from inside or outside, the mosquito is going to come in. Even if you knock down, you can when you go to work, you can spray out your room, right, or your house with Bob what the other one is, attack. And when you come in, you're going to find a mosquitoes, then you have to spray again. So it is a temporary solution, but the most effective solution is the elimination of mosquito breeding sites. You see the banana trees and stuff like that. How often do you clean your banana tree? It is, as Mr. Francisco said, you need a little bit of water, a little drop of water for the mosquito to lay her eggs. And then you would have to eliminate that. In regards to the plastic bags that you have thrown down in the grass, and when the rain comes, and a little bit of water that remains in a black plastic bag is a contributing factor to mosquito breeding. The use of repellent. You have repellents for babies. We have on a local, the repellent is made as well in regards to having that available, to use that on your body in regards to protecting, preventing the mosquito from feeding, because the mosquito needs to feed, right? They need to survive. They need your blood to survive. So if they can't feed, they're not going to survive. They're not going to be there. So you have to prevent the mosquito from feeding by using repellent, using appropriate clothing, and more so, eliminate mosquito breeding sites. Not only at home, but also at the job. You know, they have those beautiful plants on the job with the plant, but how often are they checked in regards to if the water is still on the top or if the water is in the saucer under the plant?
can afford what you crave, life just gets so
So
good.
alive and I'm feeling good, so good, so good, so good. Hey, I'm gonna live my life, feeling good, so good, real good, so
KFC, so good for everyone.
Anybody bingo?
Nobody bingo.
Need a loan that's quick and easy. Island Finance. Up to 50,000 guineas real easy. Island Finance. For education, a renovation. That's no problem. Yes, it's true. That's not all. They're quick and friendly too. Island Finance. Appliances, vacations, even fix your car. You can depend on Island Finance.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
Let me address the issue of electoral reform. And I have spoken to the other members in Parliament because I believe that while, yes, there is definitely a task for government, but I believe that Parliament should take the lead in at least getting the process on electoral reform moving. I also believe that it should consist of short, medium, and long-term actions that can be taken. The matters that should come up for debate and decision as part of electoral reform should be, to start with, things like the threshold that is now in the law for political parties to take part. That's one area. The placement and ranking on the list of candidates, going back to the change that was made where basically members can be elected anywhere they are on the list. I think that is something that we should address, review and address. The electoral system, this is definitely not a short-term action because then you're looking at overhauling and or changing the electoral system itself. I believe we should discuss it, we should have that debate and come up with a decision. Another part that could possibly be included in the ordinance on registration and finances of political parties is the matter of enforcing a declaration by candidates who participate on a list. It is something that if it is to be legalized, it can be taken up in that particular ordinance where you have different requirements that political parties and to a certain extent candidates have to meet. So I think if there's any part where a sort of a covenant between political parties and candidates can be inserted, it should be in that ordinance. And then you have the more long-term issue of the Constitution. Talking about our Constitution, and I have explained on previous occasions this issue of a so-called free mandate, because all of the discussion about members of Parliament basically having a free mandate, it stems from the Constitution that states that in Parliament, members of Parliament, they vote independently. They vote without feedback, or as they say, without any kind of, they don't have to consult, take into consideration not the voters, not the party, not other members of Parliament, etc. So that is embedded currently in our Constitution, but it is something taken over from other constitutions in the kingdom, and that have been part of those constitutions for a long, long time. talking about the Constitution allows me to go back briefly to the matter of dissolving parliaments in general. As I mentioned before as well, this matter has been taken over from the Constitution of the Netherlands Antilles that took it over from the Dutch Constitution. However, the Dutch Constitution has this particular clause in its Constitution going back to 1848. And the thinking and reasoning and application of the possibility for a government to dissolve parliament has a long history in the Netherlands, because as I said before, they have had it in their constitution since 1848, and the approach to it, the use of it, has changed over the years. I mean, all kind of political writings. Not all kind. There are many political writings about this matter, but again, they speak of the Netherlands, and they have a much longer history than ours.
Naturally, we move about the community and we listen to the people, to the residents, the businesses, and I, for one, certainly understand that the people are upset, they're frustrated, they're angry about the activities that are taking place and the lack of stability and the turmoil in government. And I know this will sound odd, but there's a value in the public being upset in terms of forcing governments to be more active and to change their behavior. And it's my belief that elections without electoral reform, it may change a couple of the players in Parliament for sure, but I'm afraid that the core things that are wrong with government, the core reasons for this instability, won't have changed. And I'm afraid actually that after an election, which is an exhaustive process, I think, for candidates, for everybody involved, that afterwards it will be sort of diffused, and that anger that sort of frustration with government will be sort of diffused, and it'll end up being dragged out again. And so I actually think that the people's anger should be channeled into pushing government for electoral reform. So I, for one, am a believer that elections without electoral reform is not doing the country a service. So to speak to what MP Westcott Williams touched on, the intention actually was for both of us to attend the Open Government Partnership Summit, which was held in Mexico City. Every 2 years they have a summit. It's held in the country of the chair of the committee at the time, and this year happened to be in Mexico City. You do actually have to apply to attend, and both of our applications were accepted, and we both had planned to go, but given the current turmoil, it was decided that it was best if just I attended on behalf of the Democratic Party. I think it is interesting to note that our commitment to this is so personal, so strong, that we funded the expenses for the trip ourselves. The expenses were not taken from the party's budget, from the government's budget. This is something that we feel committed to personally, and that we were willing to fund this out of our personal finances. So in order to become a member of the OGP, you actually do need to, as a country, apply for membership. And as the MP and I have looked at what the criteria are for compliance, unfortunately St. Martin does not currently comply. But this actually provides us with a great roadmap, an action plan for St. Martin to work towards compliance so that we could actually join and become a member. And it's very clear that as you look at the countries who are members and who are not members, there's an undeniable connection between the level of openness and transparency of a government and the benefits that reach the people and the health of the economy. It's clear throughout the world. The more open the governments are, the more the citizens participate, the more access they have to data. There's a term they use very often there about co-generation, meaning that private sector and public sector work jointly to develop legislation, plans for the community, those countries that see that are the ones that prosper. And so what I found very interesting is that many of the problems that we have in St. Martin, they have in other countries, obviously to different scales and different levels. But the issue of, for example, corruption in the public procurement process, in the contracting process, it's a global issue. And so the value for St. Martin is that these are issues that have been worked out to varying degrees in different countries. And so it's a resource for St. Martin that we can actually look towards and to some degree copy and paste and use in our government. I've gathered a lot of information. There was a lot of information about the openness of Parliament and ethical principles in Parliament as well. There were some things that in particular I found very interesting. For example, so they had different classroom setups, and one of the discussions was about open contracting. And I asked them, I said, well, one of the issues that's come up frequently in St. Martin is about this confidentiality clause, that all of a sudden that key parts of contracts are obscured by this confidentiality clause. And again, other countries have dealt with similar issues. And what they found was, that number one, there's some countries that until the contracts are put online, and not in a PDF format, a digital format that you can search and scan so you can look at the whole database, they have criteria, for example, for what things would be covered by a confidentiality clause. And most of the time it tends to be towards some sort of a proprietary process, some sort of a special technique or special process that it's your competitive advantage for you to participate in a global economy. And so those types of processes might be covered under a confidentiality clause. But the terms of the deal, the financial structure of the deal, those are things that they were surprised fell under some sort of a confidentiality clause. So, the good thing for St. Martin is we don't need to reinvent the wheel. Many other people have addressed the issue already. We can learn from lessons that other people have gone through, their experiences, and their legislative process where they've worked out many of these issues. So I found it was very instructive, very helpful, only reaffirms, I think, the party's commitment towards becoming a member of the OGP and using it as a roadmap for how to make St. Martin more open.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank.
Anybody bingo?
Nobody bingo.
In my opinion, everything is perfect and you would be great for the job. But I see here that there's a 2-year gap in your resume. What did you do?
I was hospitalized for mental illness.
Oh, mental illness?
I've undergone treatment and I have a wonderful family that supports me.
Well, that is good news.
No, it's fine. I'm recovered.
We'll contact you, okay?
For a better understanding of mental health and what you can do to stop mental health stigma, please go to the Mental Health Foundation's website at www.mhf-sxm.com.
Is that artificial kidney. Okay, you use it for the patients who have renal failure. I'm gonna show you is a dialysis machine. Okay, you use it for the patients who have a function. The kidney is stopped, like less than 10% of the function of the kidney. The patient needs it to survive, to continue alive. He needs a renal replacement. And this machine is like make the work of the kidney when the kidney don't work no more. Here you have the kidney, and here you have the liquid for to make transference, like the osmosis you call it. The transference of all the dirt in the blood go out of the patient.
And how many hours that someone have to stay on this? When they're going to be?
Normally, the patient stays 4 hours in the machine 3 times a week. So you need this patient, like when he comes for us, the most of the time, if they already have, you have a nephrologist, is a doctor who take care of it. So the most of the time, you know the patient, they're gonna start to dialyze. Then, before to start, the doctors here, they can get a shunt, they call, like a vein, when the doctor put together. I have here a picture, you see? It's a vein, the doctor put together an artery and a vein. So before he start dialysis, the doctor do the surgery. But sometimes it's a urgence. So the patient comes for us, he don't know he has a kidney disease, he come in emergency. So the doctor needs to put a catheter. This is a catheter. The surgeon, Dr. Hall, the other one, they put this in urgence. And it's like that, this picture. This two is what you do. Let me show the needle. This needle, it's going the shunt. So when the doctor do a shunt, with dialysis nurse, you have to cannulate the shunt for to have access, for the patient have access to the machine. If the patient has a catheter, it's like that, then you do the same. You can put the patient in the machine.
Anyway, this is operating room department. We took pictures of our cases that we're doing at the operating room. As you can see in there, we're using all disposables, so the linens that we're using are all disposable. These are Dr. Sankis, and the rest are some students that come to us on a daily basis to learn. What they're doing right now there is a cesarean section. As you can see, that's the head of the baby there.
So what you're saying that you're operating on the head of a baby?
No, that's a cesarean section. So usually the presenting part is the head. Commonly, the most common presentation part of the baby is the head. So when you open it, usually the head comes out first.
Oh, okay. And what is all of these things for?
These are the anesthesia device. This is the endotracheal tube. This is a laryngeal mask to maintain the airway of the patient. These are some nerve stimulator instruments that we use for anesthesia. As you can see, baby is out. There you go. Baby is being given immediate care by one doctor and one nurse. And then when we're finished, we give it to the father.
Okay.
Yeah. As you can see, that's the father over there. Is waiting. Once they're finished preparing, they're gonna bring it to the daddy. This one is a different case now, another case again.
When you say another case, like explain what you mean by another case.
Another surgery in a different room. Okay, this one back again to the cesarean because it keeps jumping.
Okay.
They start closing now. As you can see, here you go. The mother now is introduced the baby. Yeah.
Do you all experience any difficulties
Not
during
all-
your operation?
Not all surgeries are the same, so there are days that it's difficult, there are days that it's easy. But as you can see here, there are happy parents there. They're both smiling. Mother's still awake, smiling while the surgery is going on. Okay, yeah. So this is the preparation before the anesthesia. We have it's a Chinese doctor, but he's Dutch. It's Dr. Ko. He's doing the surgery. This is the scrub nurse preparing his instruments for the surgery.
My name is Esther Narcisco Williams.
And I am Evita Arundel Henderson.
Not exactly the cultural wear that we are wearing, but we came out with several costumes that will be taking part in the National Cultural Parade that will be held on St. Martin's Day. We have over 30 different groups, over 30 different groups and 20 categories.
Different seamstresses here on the island. We have about roughly 20 seamstresses sewing all the costumes for the parade.
We will start by approximately in the vicinity of Fang's Supermarket in Point Blanche. We're going to turn there by Emma Plain. We're going past Jump Up Casino, on to past the Super Plaza, onto the in front of Afu Supermarket, the whole of Kanagita Street, and then we turn on to the Walter Nesbitt Road back to the village, to the festival village.